One of the most terrifying stories, which was captured on YouTube, tells about a mysterious house of fear, which was once a shelter for the mentally ill. Legend has it that a series of terrible events related to experiments and torments of patients took place in this house. One day, a group of daring adventurers decided to spend the night inside this cursed place and shoot everything on video. They were confident that they could prove or disprove the existence of supernatural phenomena. Arriving in the dark and gloomy surroundings of the house, they felt that they were surrounded by strange noises and ominous presences. Every step caused a tremor, and the air was filled with an indefinite feeling of anxiety. The camera in their hands captured everything that happened in this abandoned territory. Gradually, the events became more and more strange and frightening. They heard ghostly whispers, saw shadows that disappeared instantly, and felt touches where no one was. The cold penetrated into their bones, and in the corners of their eyes they caught a glimpse of vague figures. The deeper they explored this house of fear, the more they realized that they were not alone. A new evil was waiting for them at every turn. Their dreams of an intriguing video were swallowed up by a real nightmare. By the minute, the group was losing touch with each other. They were trapped in a maze of fear, from which there was no way back. The camera was still filming, but witnessing human things. The laws of physics were violated, and reality was distorted beyond recognition. As the night went on, the group of adventurers encountered more and more eerie phenomena. Ghosts of the past, deceased patients at home, began to appear in front of them in the most unexpected places. Their shadows were distorted, and their voices whispered ominously in my ear. Communication between the participants was disrupted, and everyone found themselves alone with their fears and nightmares. One of them noticed that his body was gradually covered with deathly pale spots, as if he himself was becoming a victim of spiritual torture experienced by the patients of this house of fear. They all tried to find a way out, but the doors closed in front of them. The walls changed their shape, creating a maze of hopeless paths. They felt the house seeping into their consciousness, bringing to the surface the darkest and most sinister fears. Every step of the group of adventurers in this house of fear brought them closer to danger and brought them closer to death. Their fears and nightmares merged into one, and the house continued to play with their mind and physical condition. As the walls began to close and the doors turned into endless corridors, the group realized that they were trapped in the deadliest part of this cursed place. However, at the last moment, when hope seemed lost, one of the participants drew attention to the window, which looked like the only way to freedom. All of them, with the last remnants of their strength, were able to get to the window. Fear was beating in their hearts, but their desire to survive was stronger. The glass cracked, and several members of the group resolutely jumped down, hoping for salvation. However, fate was not merciful. During the jump, one of the participants could not cope with the height and crashed during the fall. It was a tragic loss, and the band felt the bitterness of losing. However, the remaining members of the group, filled with despair and mixed emotions, continued their way through the window. They suddenly found themselves outside, in a physically and emotionally exhausted state. It was dawn, and the frightening atmosphere of the House of Fear was receding before the light of a new day. They gathered together, realizing that they had miraculously escaped death. But the mysterious house was left behind, with its horrors and evil forces ready to devour anyone who boldly enters its borders. The remaining members of the adventurer group walked free through the window with mixed emotions of relief and bitterness. Their bodies were exhausted and scarred from the strain and collisions with unknown forces inside the House of Fear. They looked back at the cursed house, which hid a lot of horrors and fears, and realized that they had only miraculously escaped from his embrace. After several long minutes, the group gathered around the broken window and began to analyze what was happening. They discussed their experiences, sharing their fears and impressions of these terrorizing moments. Each of them realized that they had encountered something supernatural and dangerous, which could not be rationally explained. One of the band members had the idea to contact experts on paranormal phenomena to get an explanation of what they were facing. They decided to find specialists capable of analyzing the photos and videos they took inside the House of Fear to understand what was really happening. The members of the group went to local paranormal researchers and shared their terrible experiences. The experts analyzed the photos and videos, and their faces became serious and tense. They admitted that they had encountered real supernatural forces and the curse that lay on this house. After some time, a group of researchers decided to return to the House of Fear, this time in order to conduct a full-fledged study and find out the truth about its past and the mysterious forces that resided within its walls. They hired experts on paranormal phenomena, equipped themselves with advanced equipment and went back to the places and creepy houses of fear. Their goal was to solve the riddle and expose all the secrets that were hidden inside its walls. A group of researchers conducted a thorough preliminary preparation before returning to the House of Fear. They studied the history of the place, looked through documents related to its past owners and used as a psychiatric clinic. They read the testimonies of eyewitnesses who testified about the mysterious and incomprehensible events that took place in the house. Armed with advanced equipment for detecting paranormal activity, the group re-entered the cursed halls of the House of Fear. They installed cameras, electronic magnetometers, thermal sensors and other devices capable of registering any unexplained phenomena. As they moved through the rooms and corridors, they began to encounter strange events and signs of paranormal activity. Shadows moved independently, ghosts of the past flashed before their eyes, and a cold wind penetrated through closed doors. The group recorded each unusual phenomenon, analyzed the data obtained and discussed their significance. Paranormal experts accompanying the researchers advised them how to behave and how to react to various situations. As they moved further into the house, the group discovered a secret room hidden behind one of the walls. Inside they found archival records, old photographs and personal belongings of patients who had once been in this clinic. From these records it became clear that terrible experiments on patients related to mind control and manipulation of consciousness took place in the house. Gradually, the puzzle began to come together. The group realized that in this house there really were supernatural forces capable of influencing the mind and causing terrifying phenomena. The curse that lay on the house was the result of years of gloomy practices carried out on patients. During the study, the group also drew attention to one amazing detail: the existence of an ancient ritual associated with the liberation of the souls of deceased patients and the cessation of the influence of evil forces. This ritual required certain items and mantras that were forgotten over time. The researchers decided that their mission is not only to uncover the secrets of the House of Fear, but also to free it from the curse. They gathered everything they needed and invited an expert on occult practices to conduct the ritual. The night when the ritual was to take place turned out to be filled with incomprehensible energy. The group gathered in the very heart of the house, surrounded by objects and symbols necessary for the ritual. They chanted mantras, focusing their energy on the liberation of lost souls and the expulsion of evil forces. Suddenly, strange things started happening around them. The walls trembled, shadows moved, and the air was filled with ominous whispers. The group stood firm, despite the fear, and continued to perform the ritual. Suddenly, as if a moment of epiphany had come, the whole house was enveloped in light, and the vibrations of evil forces disappeared. The group felt that the curse was broken, and they defeated the evil that had terrorized this place for so many years. The remaining members of the group left the House of Fear with a sense of relief and victory. They knew that their research not only revealed the horrors, but also helped to clear this place of evil forces. The history of this house has become the focus of many people's attention, and it has become a source of legends and horror stories that are spread all over the internet. A group of researchers have become recognized experts in the field of paranormal phenomena and continues to tell their story, warning others against the dangers lurking behind the walls of this House of Fear. Some people, attracted by this story, decide to explore the House of Fear themselves. But a group of researchers warns about the risks and reminds that this is a dangerous place where supernatural forces still reside. Meanwhile, The story of a group of adventurers who bravely coped with the horrors of the House of Fear has become a popular subject of films, books and documentary projects. Their story has inspired many to study and understand supernatural phenomena, as well as to realize that there are things that are better left unsolved. The House of Fear continues to stand as a reminder of the past, of the mysteries and horrors associated with its walls. Many curious researchers come here in search of answers and witness incredible and terrible events themselves. But regardless of what each of them will find inside this gloomy house dead